What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA Cup action here on Tuesday, December 9th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game and look at some player props. We're also going to look at the biggest NCAA basketball games here on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, so slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, still have quite a bit cooking, including that Monday Night Football game. The Eagles and the Chargers both seem like they want to lose this game. We've got 6 turnovers already, and we're in the third quarter right now. So we'll see who comes out on top. We do know we're going to brick out on Saquon under 69.5 rushing yards. He's got 69 rushing yards right now, so I don't think we're going to be in any sort of good shape for that one. Kind of shocking to see him get this number of carries, but they've kind of abandoned him in the second half, so we'll see what happens there. Herbert under 31.5 passing attempts is looking very, very good right now. That one should certainly cash. I would hope so, unless something goes absolutely terribly wrong there. We got the Spurs minus 9.5. They've blown a massive lead to now only be up by 6 points there in the fourth quarter. So we'll see if they can somehow still win this one by 10 or more, but it's looking a little bit bleak. Really annoying after how big of a lead they had early on. We got the Suns plus 9.5. That one came through easily. They straight up 108 to 105 win there, cashing our dog of the day. Phoenix, basically a full team win, what we saw from them. All 5 starters scoring in double figures, and the defensive level was very high. They shut off everyone not named Edwards or Randall there for the Timberwolves and held them to only 105 points. So that's a very, very good day there for Phoenix. We also cast the Pacers on the money line as our massive lock of the day. Indiana gets a comfortable 116 to 105 win thanks to big days from Nembhard, Siakam, and Mathurin. The Pacers at home, they're still going for wins. They jumped out to a nice lead in this game, played great defense there in the fourth quarter, and the Kings, I mean, it's time to blow this thing up. I don't know if anybody wants these pieces, but Sacramento needs to really try and bottom out. Might as well do it this season. There's no point in waiting. You guys have blown through so many great prospects. It's just time to try and rebuild once again. But overall, looking like potential for a pretty good day there. If we can get 1 or 2 more plays to come through, could be a nice little win there for us on, Monday, where there was very little cooking out there in the entire sports world. So we'll see what we can get after. See what we can get up to here. Finally, some NBA Cup quarterfinal action. And first up, we're going to look at the Miami Heat as they go on the road here to take on the Orlando Magic. The Heat come into this game 14-10 on the season. They haven't been playing great recently. Losers of 3 straight, falling to the Kings, the Magic, and the Dallas Mavericks, which it's honestly been kind of weird, their fall off. It's kind of centered around them getting a little bit healthier. Tyler Hero coming back and stuff like that has just not had the result they would hope for. That being said, Hero did not play in that loss against the Kings. Wiggins only 13 points, 9 points there from Bam. Kelly Ware had 5 points in 30 minutes. Like, they just did not have it in this game. Norman Powell played well. That's nice. Fontecchio, 20 points off the bench. Jaime Jaquez Jr., 27 off the bench, but all that amounted to them shooting 29% from deep, getting out-rebounded there by the Kings, and falling victim to one of those crazy out-of-nowhere Zach LaVine games. He put up 42 points against them. So a little bit of a rough showing there for Miami. Obviously, things could be a lot different headed into kind of a playoff atmosphere here in an NBA Cup game. And, it's always possible they fell victim to the look-ahead spot. You're playing a terrible team. You've got an NBA Cup quarterfinal game coming up. Maybe you just weren't that locked in. So we'll see how things look in this game. Definitely some injury concerns, but I don't think they're that big of concerns. Davion Mitchell, dealing with that groin issue, is expected to play here Tuesday against the Magic. You're going to see a lot of guys play through things for a Cup game that they would not normally play through for a regular game. Tyler Hero, dealing with that toe issue, is also probable for this game, so it sounds like he's going to be out there. Seems like maybe Larson and Drew Smith, but they are on the injury report, but those aren't guys that really move the needle for me in a meaningful way. Overall, I think the Heat are going to be relatively healthy for this game, so that's a big step in the right direction for them, but not too surprising since this is an NBA Cup game. They're headed to Orlando to play here on the road, but in the same state, taking on the Magic, who are 14-10 on the season as well. They're fresh off a 106 to 100 loss there against the Knicks. A pretty weird, very competitive, very chippy loss there for the Magic. Paolo came back, but only scored 16 points in 24 minutes. So I guess that's not a terrible night, but he was a minus 10. Franz Wagner, a really bad-looking ankle sprain. He's going to be out for a few weeks. That is being diagnosed as a high ankle sprain, and I freaking believe it. That did not look good. Wendell Carter Jr., 8 points in 33 minutes. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Desmond Bane trying to carry the load, 16 points in his 34 minutes, so not a great performance from him. Suggs, 17 points in 32 minutes. Anthony Black, 14 points off the bench. You can kind of see all this just does not add up to a lot, and it was a rough night out there. Bane spiking the ball off of OG Anunoby, Not a great look there. They shot 29% from three, which is something that's kind of becoming just another reoccurring theme here for the Orlando Magic. Once again this year, they do not have enough shooting. The Knicks didn't even have to play everybody a crazy amount of minutes, except for Brunson. He did play 38 minutes. No Cat for them in this game, and they still get the win. Has to be some definite bad news there for the Orlando Magic. So not a great showing there for Orlando in their last game. Obviously, some very big injury news. Franz Wagner will not play in this game or any games for the next few weeks. So that's just going to mean maybe more Tristan da Silva, maybe more Anthony Black, but it's definitely going to mean the ball in Paolo Banchero's hands a lot more, and in the hands of Desmond Bane. Will that be a net positive or a net negative? Kind of remains to be seen. Those two guys really have not played well together this season in general, so not a great look. We'll see if they can kind of put whatever is, going on, figure that out for this game. It's kind of a big spot. Looking at the numbers, they're getting 1 point here at home. We've got a total of 232.5. Miami's 14-10 against the spread. They are 6-5 against the spread on the road. 12 in total to the over/under. Orlando's 11-13 against the spread. 5-8 against the spread at home. 13-11 to the over. In their NBA Cup games so far, the Heat beat Charlotte handily, lost to the Knicks in a close but very high-scoring game, beat Chicago in a blowout, and beat Milwaukee there in a 3-point game. The Magic, they went 4-0, beating Boston 123-110. They took down the Nets 105-98. They beat Philly in an absolute blowout, winning by 41 points, and they took down Detroit in a 3-point game. So the Magic going 4-0, the Heat going 3-1. That 132-140 loss against the Knicks, their only loss. So overall, I would say we're going to be leaning here just a little bit towards the Miami Heat playing on the road. The Heat tend to play better in these big step-up situations. I think we're going to see a very, very good game from them. Their offense has just been humming this season. I don't think the Magic really have the scoring and definitely don't have the shooting to keep up with them. So I do like the Heat here at -1 quite a bit, despite the fact they are playing here on the road, although they're 6-5 against the spread on the road, so not a bad road team this season. In terms of some props that we like for this game, I've got quite a few, and first up, I'll take Jaime Jaquez Jr. over 9.5 points here at -125. He's been over this number 4 out of his last 5 games. Even here in a cup game where the starters might play a slightly bigger portion of the minutes, I think his scoring is important enough that he gets the minutes to get over this number as long as he can have at least a semi-decent shooting night. I'll also take Andrew Wiggins here over 2.5 assists at -128. He's been over this number 8 of his last 10 games, while Hero and Mitchell should come up with a good amount of assists also. In the offense that we're seeing the Heat play, there's room for everyone to find some success, and the ball movement's been very, very nice. So I do think Wiggins to get to only 3 assists in this one is definitely not a long shot. And on the Magic side, I'll take Desmond Bane here under 8.5 made field goals at -145. Probably going to end up with a couple more shot attempts with Franz Wagner sidelined with that ankle injury, but he's been under this number 3 straight games, and his game does not seem to mesh well with Paolo Banchero, so I think this is actually a very, very reasonable spot to fade him. I don't think we're going to see him, just going absolutely nuts out there, so I'll be fading him, but I will back Paolo Banchero here over 3.5 assists at +132. He has been under this number in 4 straight games, and in both of his games since coming back from injury, but with Franz Wagner out and in a game that is likely to be up pace, I think he finds his way to 4 assists here often enough, especially to make this big plus money price tag look very appealing. Our last prop for this game, I'll take Anthony Black here over 7.5 boards plus assists at -132. He's been over this number in 5 straight games and is another guy that's likely to get some more run here with Franz Wagner out. He's been cooking, especially on the glass, and his assist numbers have been great. I don't think the Heat are going to slow him down here that much. I think he comfortably gets over this number. Hey guys, hopping in with a quick shout out to the sponsor today in every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium membership getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. It was an extremely short slate out there across all the major sports, so not a ton cooking over there in the premium section there on Monday, but definitely a big play by our premium NFL handicapper there on the Eagles -2.5, a 3-unit play. They're currently down 13-9 in the third quarter, so they're still drawing very, very live there, and that play is pretty much going to determine our whole day. Got pretty unlucky for Incarnate Word to play so bad in the first half. They made a big comeback in the second half to eventually lose by 1. So yeah, on a very short college basketball slate, that was the best value we could find. We did cash our free NCAA basketball pick there for those who were on the email newsletter or check the free picks tab. So definitely want to be making sure you're doing that. We didn't didn't cash the Spurs at -9.5 because they messed around and almost, is it over yet? They could still lose this game. They're up 3 with less than a second left. So I guess they're going to win, but they were up massive in that game and gave it all back. So a very annoying day over there on the 8th, but a very, very short slate. We're going to have tons more action over there on Tuesday on the premium side. Lots and lots of stuff in college basketball, NBA, all kinds of good action there coming up in the NHL streets as well. So lots of good stuff will be cooking over there on the premium side tomorrow and throughout the week. So it's a great time to jump in over at stumpthespread.com on the premium picks. You definitely want to get over there, check that out. You can also check out, we have hoodies for sale. You can buy a Stump the Spread hoodie. You don't have to rely on a giveaway to win one now. You can just straight up go over there to stumpthespread.com and purchase a Stump the Spread hoodie. Just go to the shop tab and it's right there. It's actually on sale for around $50 and we have free shipping. Free shipping is included. So definitely take advantage of that if you're interested. Also, you got to go over there and take advantage of the free stuff. Get on that free picks email. Check the free picks tab, but definitely the free email list is a great resource. Free picks every single day. Information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis, things you would never normally even think of betting on, and just things that aren't being, severely covered right now. We have experts looking at everything. Also, you got to get in on those free picks, like I was saying, and all the great information every weekend on the NFL side. Lots of NFL touchdown props, different player props, free picks straight up and against the spread, all kinds of good stuff like that, all covered in that email. Lots of stuff on the college football playoff going to be in there as well. So it's just a ton of great information. It's really easy to sign up. You just click that little login button in the top right hand corner of the screen. Once you're at stumpthespread.com, it'll prompt you to set up a free account. They're just going to ask you for your name and your email address. That is it. You get one email straight to your inbox every single day. So definitely get on board with that. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, you get access to our members only giveaways. And we're actually going to be doing a members only giveaway out of nowhere today because the winner of our Stump the Spread hoodie there yesterday, Raul, has our 4 Dewey 4 has already won one. So he let us know down there in the comments. He saw that he had won, but he wanted to just give back to the community a little bit since he's already won a Stump the Spread hoodie, and he wants to give everybody a chance again. So we're going to click this wheel right now and see who is going to be the winner of this week's giveaway. Try number 2, since we gave it away to somebody who already got one. It looks like the new winner here is going to be Rob Wells. Rob Wells. Wow, that was a close one. Rob Wells, you are the winner of the Stump the Spread hoodie for this week. Let us know down in the comments, that you see that you've won. We'll get your name and your email address and all that kind of good stuff. You can send an email to support@stumpthespread.com. We'll get that all figured out and we'll get that hoodie out to you as soon as possible. But big shout out to 4 Dewey 4 for letting us do another giveaway here, re-giveaway his hoodie. So appreciate you. But guys, let's go ahead and dive back in. We've got lots of stuff still to cover here. We got our other NBA Cup game and we have our entire NCAA basketball slate. So let's go ahead and get after it. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at game number 2 here in our NBA slate. We've got the New York Knicks going on the road to take on the Toronto Raptors in our other NBA Cup quarterfinal. The Knicks come into this game 16-7 on the season, so having a pretty good time out there in the East. They've won 3 straight games, taking down the Magic, the Jazz, and the Hornets. So, maybe not the toughest opponents here, but they also beat the Raptors a little bit ago, winning that game 116-94. So they got to have a lot of confidence coming into this one. They do, however, have to go on the road, head up there to Canada, head up to Toronto to play this game. So that has to count as at least something of a disadvantage here. But we'll see if that really bothers the Knicks here too much. Like I said, they have been playing well in that win over the Magic. Brunson had a big day putting up a 30-piece. He's had his struggles this year, especially shooting the ball from distance, and was only 1 of 7 from long range, but did his damage elsewhere and had a pretty good game. Bridges, not the most efficient shooting night, but great nights out there from both Josh Hart and OG Anunoby, making up for the absence of Karl Anthony Towns. That's going to be a big topic here when we look at the injury report. Yabusele played 11 very productive minutes, knocking down 2 out of his 3 threes. Jordan Clarkson, a terrible game. 17 minutes, 0 points, 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. We'll be talking about him a little bit when it comes to player prop time, but overall, a pretty good game. You find a way to get the win without Karl Anthony Towns. That is a very good look here for a Knicks team that's been, fairly reliant on him this season. They've dealt with some injuries, and a big question mark for them in this game is, will Karl Anthony Towns be able to play? Right now, he's listed as questionable with that calf issue, and it sounds like, he was held out of Sunday's win there over Orlando, could potentially miss this game. It's left calf tightness. He was able to participate in Monday's practice. That is a good sign We'll see. We'll see if he actually ends up playing in this game or not. An Achilles injury is always right around the corner when dealing with the calf, so I would not be shocked either way. We're going to kind of assume, based on this number, that he is going to play since Toronto's getting 4.5 points. I do think we'll see Cat probably play in this game. We will not see Miles McBride playing this game. He's dealing with an ankle issue. He's officially already been ruled out, so he won't be out there. That's going to make the bench even lighter here for the Knicks. We're going to see Kolek minutes. We're going to see Jordan Clarkson minutes for sure. Obviously, we'll see Mitchell Robinson minutes. That's not, ever up in the air. He's definitely going to be playing. So we'll see what they can do here on the road, taking on the Toronto Raptors. They've been struggling. They've lost 3 in a row. They've actually lost 5 out of their last 6 games. RJ Barrett going to miss more time after having an injection in his knee. They lost pretty handily, 121-113 against the Celtics their last time out, and the last time they faced the Knicks, they took a 116-94 loss. So not exactly a great look there. In that game, we saw Ingram struggle shooting the ball, but quickly and Scotty Barnes both played pretty well. Murray Bowles had a decent day off the bench. Overall, they shot only 30% from 3 and did not do a good job getting to the free throw line, although it's not like either team really got to the line a ton. So, yeah, that was not a great night out there for the Raptors, and their loss against the Celtics wasn't amazing either. They gave up a 30-piece to Jaylen Brown. We did like what we saw from Brandon Ingram in that game. He shot the ball really well, had 30 points of his own, but it was still a minus 12. Jakob Poeltl, not a great day, only 4 rebounds and 10 points in his 25 minutes. Quickly struggled in that game as well. It just was not a very good night out there. Not a very good night at all. So they're definitely going to need a bit of a bounce back in both, from both of those situations. They won't have RJ Barrett. Other than that, they are relatively healthy for this game. So that's at least somewhat helpful, but certainly a guy that they're going to miss quite a bit. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Raptors, they're getting 4.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 227.5. The Knicks are 15-8 against the spread this year. They're only 2-7 against the spread on the road, though. That's actually an NBA worst mark against the spread playing away from home. They are 12-11 to the over. Toronto's only 10-15 against the spread overall. They're only 4-9 against the spread at home. They are 14-11 to the under. I don't have much of a lean on the total in this game. Maybe lean just a hair towards the under, but guys, we have to take the Knicks here at minus 4.5. I don't love it. If the Raptors were just a better home team, or maybe if RJ Barrett was healthy going up against his old team, then maybe we could justify taking Toronto and the points. But under the impression that we are going to see Karl-Anthony Towns play in this game, I just feel like we do have to take the Knicks. And the Knicks, they did lose to the Bulls in a cup game, but they beat the Heat, they beat the Hornets, and they beat the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Raptors, well, they did beat Cleveland and Atlanta. They beat the Warriors in a blowout, and they beat the Pacers. Congratulations. But none of those games was really that amazing, and I don't think they really have what it takes to hang with the Knicks in this one. So I do think the Knicks are going to win this one by at least 5. On the prop side, I will take Mikal Bridges here over 5.5 made field goals here at minus 120. He's been playing great recently, taking a lot of shots, knocking down 6 of 17 against Orlando his last time out. He's been over this number in 9 of his last 10 games, and even against a team like the Raptors that has a decent amount of size, I don't think he is going to struggle at all to get his shot off. I also like Bridges here over 3.5 rebounds at minus 135. He's been over this number in 9 of his last 10 games as well. I fully expect him to find a way to get over this number. This is a number that he did not surpass there in the Knicks blowout win over Toronto back on November 30th, but I do think he's going to get over it in this one. I'll also take Emmanuel quickly over 18.5 points at minus 110. He's been a monster this season in general. While he's coming off a bad game there against the Celtics, he did go off for 31 against Charlotte, and even in a bad showing at Madison Square Garden on November 30th, he did have 19 points, so I think this matchup works for him. I think we see him have a very decent offensive game in this one, albeit I do think it will come in a loss. I'll also take Mitchell Robinson over 5.5 rebounds here at minus 130. I think this is a very, very good play. It's very, very likely, almost 100% to end up in the pinned comment, because just on the outside chance that we see Cat end up sitting this game out or playing very limited minutes, we're going to see more Mitchell Robinson, and it's his whole job coming off the bench to go nuts on the boards. He's been over this number 4 of his last 5 games. I think he's going to do his thing on the glass here against a Toronto team that isn't going to know really what to do against his size and his insane energy. And last but not least, I'll take Jordan Clarkson over 3.5 made field goals at plus 100. He's been over this number only twice in his last 5 games, but with McBride sidelined, he's basically the only good scoring option coming off the bench for the Knicks right now, so I think he's going to get some extra minutes, and I do think he's going to find a way to do something positive with those minutes. Making 4 field goals, though, is a little bit of a tall order, so this might not make the pinned comment. Now, guys, hopping over to look at some college basketball action, some NCAA basketball here fresh off the press. We're going to be looking at the Villanova Wildcats going on the road to taking the number 2 Michigan Wolverines. Now, Villanova's had a good start to their season. They are 7-1 overall. They did lose their season opener there against number 8 BYU, but played them pretty close, eventually losing 71-66. They haven't really been tested since then. I mean, they took care of business against Temple. They beat Duquesne. Their last time out was a 90-63 blowout win there over Penn. So that was all very, very solid there, taking care of, business in the Big 5 Classic. But I don't really have, that's not really a great measuring stick. Like, you shot 48% from 3 in that game, making 15 out of 31, like very, very good work there. Did a great job on the boards, but that's not really against an opponent that should be on your level. So we'll see. They're about to get a very serious test here. They've got a monster in Bryce Lindsey. We'll see if he can keep things rolling, seeing if this team can continue to, rebound the ball at a pretty good clip like they have, but they're going to be severely tested here as they go on the road to take on number 2 Michigan there in Ann Arbor. Now, the Wolverines are number 2 in the nation. They're 8-0 on the season. They've knocked off a plethora of decent teams, knocked off Wake Forest, TCU, beat San Diego State in a blowout, blew out number 21 Auburn by 30, blew out number 12 Gonzaga by 40-0, and then they finished off with a 101-60 blowout win there over Rutgers. This team is absolutely running roughshod over all their competition, and they're kind of doing it with a pretty good mix of, just getting production from everybody. They're 5th in the nation rebounding. They're 7th in the nation in points per game. They've played 0 walkover opponents, really. I mean, MTSU is the worst team they probably played this year, and yeah, they have just been destroying everyone, and they're at home for this game. The odds makers have noticed. They are 15.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 149.5. Villanova is 6-2 against the spread this season. They're 4-4 to the over-under. Michigan, 5-3 against the spread this year. They're 4-4 to the over-under themselves. Guys, I am going to be leaning here just a little bit towards Michigan at home. I don't think this one has enough legs to make the pin comment because I do think Villanova is a real opponent, but are they at the kind of level that's going to give the Wolverines trouble? Maybe not, in my opinion, so I will take the Wolverines here, minus 15.5. I do think they get a blowout win and cover here playing at home. Rolling right along, we have the Clemson Tigers going on the road to take on the BYU Cougars, number 9 BYU Cougars. Now, Clemson, they're 7-2 to start the season. Haven't done an amazing job in step-up games necessarily, losing against Georgetown and losing their last time out 90-84 against Alabama. Now, Alabama's a very good team. They're 12th in the nation. Clemson giving them a real game is a solid look. I'll give them some credit there, but I mean, they only beat West Virginia by 3. They played a 3-point game against Georgia as well, so they haven't exactly been killing it against elite competition. Like I said, they are coming off a huge game there against Alabama. They played really, really well in that one. We liked a lot of what we saw, although they only shot 4 of 19 from long range. They had a better night shooting the ball. They could have won this game straight up. They actually come away with a positive on the boards. That's something I wouldn't have expected. They also had fewer turnovers, but they do just still come up a little bit short against, albeit a considerably more talented team. And, their numbers over the course of the year so far have been very good. So we'll see what they can do here on the road, taking on the BYU Cougars. Now, BYU has a pretty solid home court advantage, but this game is going to be played at Madison Square Garden. So technically a neutral floor. The Cougars, they are 7-1 on the year. They're coming off a blowout win over Cal Baptist. They beat Dayton in a very close game. They won a 10-point contest there over Miami. They blew out then number 22 Wisconsin. Their only loss of the season was that 2-point loss against number 3 UConn. A crazy, crazy game that could have gone either way. There's a lot to like here. Some of the best talent in the nation is on this BYU team. Some of the most highly sought after guys. So we'll see if that results in tons of success this season. They are 65th in the nation in points per game. They're also a decent team on the boards. They've got lots of very, very good scoring options. So we'll see if that's enough here playing on a neutral floor against a very good opponent. Now, the odds makers do like the Cougars here a good amount. They're 7.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 152.5 in this game. Clemson's 5-3 against the spread. They're also 5-3 to the under. BYU's 5-3 against the spread. They are 5-3 to the under as well. So looking at this matchup, I do think it's a spot we probably want to at least strongly consider. Clemson and the points. I do like the talent that we see for BYU, but playing on a weirdly big stage, they've got some very young guys on that roster. I do think we'd see some nerves potentially coming into play here, and I think Clemson will find a way to make this, a 1 or 2 possession game down the stretch, just like they did against UConn. I think this is going to be a very close game, and if it's going to be close and competitive, go ahead and give me those 7.5 points. Headed a little bit off the beaten path for this one, we're going to be looking at the McNeese Cowboys going on the road to taking the Rhode Island Rams. Now, McNeese, they're 7-2 on the season. Their losses this year were against Santa Clara and against Incarnate Word. They haven't really played any massive step-up competition yet this season, and they've been all right, but they definitely haven't been great. Definitely not like some McNeese teams we've seen in the past. Losing to Incarnate Word, not a great look. They blowout win over Northwestern State. Congratulations, that is not a very good team. Over the course of the season, they're looking great offensively, 20th in the nation, putting up 90 points per game, but they have knocked off not one, but 2 non-Division I teams, piling up 127 and 132 points respectively in those 2 games, so I'm not exactly too excited about their season-long numbers. Larry Johnson is a decent leading scorer. 16 points per game on 62% from the field is very, very efficient, but are they really ready to take on a decent opponent here? We'll see. Rhode Island's been good. They're 7-3 on the year. They did lose to Tulsa. They lost to Townsend, who Townsend's not that bad, and they're coming off a 90-71 loss there at Providence. So not exactly a monster performance. They've got wins against Vermont, Temple. They took down Brown this year, beat Yale as well. So they've got some wins. Jonah Hinton, he's a decent leading scorer. Not the most efficient shooter, but he's okay. Their offensive numbers don't look anything nearly as good as McNeese's, but they've played exactly 0 non-Division I opponents this year, so that kind of changes that whole situation quite a bit. I am a little bit worried about the Rams here on the boards in this matchup, but they are going to be playing this game at home, which I do think matters a lot still in college basketball, and they're getting a 1.5 here. We've got a total of 141.5. McNeese, they are 4-2 against the spread. They're also 4-2 to the under. Rhode Island, they are 6-4 against the spread. They are 6-4 to the under as well. Given these trends and the way these 2 teams have been playing, you could maybe talk me into under 141.5 in this game. I think that's okay, but better than that, guys, I'll just take the home team. Give me Rhode Island here, getting a 1.5 playing at home. I don't think McNeese is really all that great. I think Rhode Island's going to defend their home court well here, so go ahead and give me the Rams. I think they could win this game straight up. Back looking at a little bit more of a prime time game, we're looking at number 14 Illinois going on the road here to take on Ohio State. Now, this game is going to be played in Columbus, Ohio, so a true home game here for the Buckeyes. Illinois, they're 13th in the nation. They come into this game 7-2 on the season. They've got wins over number 11 Texas Tech. Played a very close 4-point game there against Alabama. Kind of got it handed to them there by number 5 UConn. Lost that one 74-61, but they did get a nice 75-62 win over Tennessee in their last game there in Music City Madness. So yeah, very solid stuff. I liked a lot of what we saw. 4 starters scoring in double digits. Nothing too massive off the bench. They did shoot 11 of 28 from 3, which you love to see. They didn't do a great job on the boards. Rebounding could be a bit of an issue for this team this season. We'll have to see. Obviously, we're still pretty early on, but I do worry a little bit about the Fighting Illini on the glass, but it may not come into, it might not matter too much in this game. Kylan Boswell's doing a great job. 17 points, 4 assists per game, shooting nearly 50% from the field. This team is averaging 88 points per game. They're 26th in the nation in scoring. They are 20th in rebounding. There's a lot to like about Illinois. They've played some pretty weak opponents sprinkled in there amongst the really, really good ones. We'll see where Ohio State actually falls in that ranking. Now, the Buckeyes will be playing at home, like we said. They haven't played a ton of great competition this year. They beat Notre Dame by 1. They lost to Pitt by 1. They beat Northwestern by 4. So they've been playing some very, very close games, but Illinois is going to be by far the best team that they've faced this season. In that win over Northwestern, there's some things we liked for the Buckeyes. I mean, obviously Brandon Noel putting up 29 points, 13 of 15 from the field. Very good work there. Only 4 of 14 from 3, though, is a bit concerning. They also got out-rebounded in that game, so I do have some concerns. Definitely have some concerns here still for the Buckeyes. I mean, over the course of the year, the rebounding numbers don't look too hot, and given the opponents they've played, I'm just a little bit worried about their ability to rebound in this one. They are getting 3.5 points at home. We've got a total of 157.5. Illinois is 5-4 against the spread. They're 7-2 to the under. Ohio State's 4-4 against the spread. They're 4-4 to the over/under. I don't think under 157.5 is crazy in this game, but much better than that. I'll just take Illinois here, -3.5. I think this is a very good spot. It will be a bit public for sure, but I just don't think Ohio State's ready for the skill level and the size that Illinois is going to bring to this game, and I think the Fighting Illini probably win this game kind of walking away. I could see them winning this one by double digits. Rounding in the home stretch here, guys, we got the Penn State Nittany Lions going on the road to taking the number 22 Indiana Hoosiers. Penn State's 8-1 to start the season, killing it out of the gates. But when you look at their schedule, all of a sudden it doesn't seem like they are quite so much killing it as taking advantage of some really, really weak opponents. I mean, they played an 8-point game to open their season against Fairfield. They played a very competitive game against Navy. They beat Harvard by 4, lost to Providence by 12, beat Boston U in a competitive game, blew out Sacred Heart, and then they beat Campbell by 11 their last time out. Like, I just don't have a lot of great stuff to say about this team. I mean, Caden Mingo is okay, 15 points, 4 assists, not too bad. Despite playing a terrible, terrible schedule, they're only 95th in the nation in scoring. They're 378th in total rebounding. Like, I'm just not completely sold here on Penn State. I don't know what kind of year they're going to have out there in the Big Ten. Might be a little bit rough. And we'll see what they can do here in their first Big Ten game, taking on the Indiana Hoosiers. Now, Indiana, they're 7-2 on the season, losing their last 2 in a row, falling to Minnesota and Louisville, so that's got to sting a little bit. Those are their 2 best opponents, and they weren't able to come with anything positive. They have beat Kansas State, they beat Marquette this season as well, but they really would have loved to keep things a little bit more competitive there against Minnesota, especially, and Louisville, even though they're a very good team. We did like some of what the Hoosiers were able to do in that game. I mean, they shot 32% from 3. That's not terrible. They did a decent job getting to the line, kept things even on the boards, but overall, just not enough there in the end. Tucker DeVries, trying to carry the load for him, but just not quite enough. So we'll see. We'll see what they can do in this one. They are 15.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 153.5. Penn State's 3-6 against the spread. That kind of shows you where they're at. They haven't done that well even against the spread, even against some bad opponents. They're 5-4 to the under. Indiana, they're 5-4 against spread. They're 5-4 to the over. Guys, I think the Hoosiers playing at home use this as a massive bounce back spot and really, really take care of business here and expose the Nittany Lions. Give me Indiana here to get the blowout win and cover. I'll take them minus 15.5 points here. I don't think this one stays very competitive for very long. Last but certainly not least, guys, we saved the biggest game on the college basketball slate for last. We've got number 15 Florida going on the road to take on number 5 UConn. This is a big time game. This is going to be played at Madison Square Garden, so technically, it is a neutral floor, but this is going to be a UConn Huskies crowd for sure, in my opinion at least. Florida, they're 5-3 on the season. They've played quite the schedule. Losing to Arizona to open their season in a competitive game actually looks like a quality loss at this point. They beat Florida State, beat Miami, lost to TCU, beat Providence, and then lost a crazy 1-point game there against number 4 Duke. That one was pretty nuts. Basically a rock fight, eventually losing 66-67. Obviously, they did not shoot the ball very well in that game. Also didn't go very deep on the bench, only playing 7 guys in the entire game. We liked what we saw in general from Florida, I suppose, in that one, especially, playing a close game against somebody that good. But yeah, over the course of the season, they're looking amazing on the boards. Their offensive numbers are fine, not, jumping off the page, especially when you consider they've played a lot of weaker opponents, actually. A lot of weaker opponents sprinkled in there with the good ones. So we'll see. They're about to be about the toughest test you can face here, taking on the number 5 UConn Huskies. They're 8-1 on the season. Solo Ball leads the way for them with 14.5 points per game, but really they've been great. Their only loss was to Arizona. That makes sense. They beat BYU this year. They beat Illinois this year. They beat Kansas in Kansas. So that was a big win, winning that one 68-56. And their last time out, blowing out East Texas A&M. That was a bit of a foregone conclusion. But this team definitely has championship aspirations this year. Their defense is off the charts good. Their defense against Kansas was excellent, obviously only giving up 56 points. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well. They did get homered aggressively. They shot 8 free throws in that game. Kansas shot 21. So well played there by UConn. They're making a case to be one of the best teams in the nation right now, and that's part of why they're getting part of the reason they are 4.5-point favorites here. We've got a total of 145.5. Florida's 2-6 against the spread this season. They're 6-2 to the under. UConn, they are 3-6 against the spread, so not great against the spread. They are 6-3 to the under. This is a little bit of a tough spot because I do think this is going to be a low-scoring game, so I actually will take under 145.5. I think that's very, very reasonable in this game. Both teams really going to play some hard defense. I think they'll be allowed to do that. The concern when you're taking unders in college basketball is that the refs really take over and we end up seeing, 80 free throws shot in this game, but I do still think I'm going to take the UConn Huskies here minus 4.5. Playing It's not going to be a real home game, but I do think it's a lot closer to a home game for them than it is for Florida. I think the Huskies are going to have a very good showing in this one, and I think they've got what it takes to slow down everyone they need to slow down there for Florida and hang even on the board. So give me the Huskies here. I think they win this game by at least 5. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description. Get over there to stumpthespread.com. Check out all the free stuff stuff over there. Get on that free email list. It's a fantastic resource, and get in on those free picks under the free picks tab. Definitely want to be checking those out every single day. And, get on that email list, like I said, and check out all the premium stuff over there as well. Going to be a loaded premium slate here on Tuesday, and more coming throughout the week. It's going to be a very, very fun week over there at stumpthespread.com. So get in on that, and we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.